What's going on, YouTube? I'm going to be giving you a walk around here of... Well, it's not a walk around. I'll do a walk around once my car's finished. I just got to get rims and tires. But I'm going to give you like a Maaco paint job review here, since I did go to Maaco. So in case any of you guys are wondering, you know, what it's like to go to Maaco, you know, the prices, is it worth it, you know, etc., etc. You know, hopefully this will give you a general idea of what it's going to be like going to Maaco, at least for me, what it was the shop that I went to. I guess I'll get started with some of the pros first. I'll get the pros out of the way, and then we'll work our way to the negatives. The first pro, I guess, would be cost. I'll show you the paperwork I got. Came out to a grand total of $1,400 for everything. That's painted, you know, body work done, everything like that, which isn't too bad for a full entire paint job on a car. $1,400 isn't that bad, so I mean, I guess I can't really complain with the price that I paid. So that is one pro, I will say that. Now I know there's people that, you know, they get like $700, you know, Maaco jobs, or a makeover, but you know, I had to get some body work done right here. I had a little bit of body damage, if you remember my other video. But also another reason why this was more money was because, well, one, the car is bigger, but two, I got the 2-stage paint on it instead of the single stage. The single stage paint, which is like just really cheap paint, it only lasts for like a year or two. You know, that's like the, you know, bare minimum, that's like $700, I think, or whatever it was. But they quoted me $1,100 because I had to get that body work done. Actually, I think it's $800. I don't know the prices. That you have to check online. I honestly don't even know. But they quoted me $1,100 with the single stage. And I, you know, I asked them, I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, what does the factory do? I'm like, how does the, you know, the factory paint their cars? Like, how many stages they have? And he said the factory does a 2-stage on it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, let's just go ahead and do a 2-stage on it. How much is that going to cost? And it came up to $1,400. So I figured I'd just, you know, get the better quality paint, which also comes with a 4 or 5 year warranty instead of a 1-year warranty. So I get more of a warranty with it, so in case anything happens with it, you know, it starts cracking, which, I don't know, some of the work I'm seeing here, quite honestly, I probably will start seeing some of that. So, I mean, that's one pro, I guess, is the cost. So $1,400 for a whole entire paint job isn't too bad. Another pro that I will say is the actual paint work itself. Whoever painted it, they didn't paint it too bad. There's really no run marks anywhere. I can't really notice too many issues with the actual paint itself. Like, it looks nice and like consistent, except for over here. I don't know what happened here. It looks like someone took a screwdriver and chipped paint off or something. It's like really rough in this whole entire section, especially right here. I just don't even know what even happened there. But whatever, that's beyond me. But actual run marks, stuff like that, it's really consistent. I don't see any run marks, nothing like that. So that's actually pretty good. But that's honestly the really only two positives that I can say about it. I mean, there's a lot of things they did that I'm not really happy with. For one, I mean, look at the prep work, the masking off that they did. That is just like deplorable. Like, I don't understand how you missed that entire chunk like that. It's one thing to get some paint up here. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're not gonna get all of it, but it's like, it's real. Like, it's like they didn't even bother. Like, they just like put some tape on. Okay, good enough. All right, start painting it. Like, they didn't even like get as close as they could. You know what I mean? Like, back here, they tried to get as close as they could. It looks like they tried to get it real close here. They could have done a little bit better job there. But something like this, they got it like pretty much right up to the paint, which is like perfectly acceptable. I'm okay with that. It's okay to have a little bit of paint there. But something like that, like, I'm sorry, but that is just unacceptable in my book. Like this is really hard to mask off, and they did a shit job with this. But something like that, you know, it's hard to mask off. So something like that, I'm not going to be too upset about, because that is something difficult to do. But like, I mean, look at the trunk here. Like, look at this. Like, look at all the paint here they got, the excess paint. Like, how hard would it have been to just stick something, over the glass? Obviously, they obviously take the glass off good, but how hard it would have been to stick something in the trunk, just slide something down in here, just to cover it all up. I mean, like, you could have got sheets of paper, for Christ's sake. You could have went to fucking Walmart and bought paper for 98 cents and just stuck paper going along here. There's things that they did that it just baffles my mind on why they didn't even bother. Like something like this, I don't care. It's not a big deal. It has a paint mark there, paint line. That's perfectly fine. But something like this, it's easy to cover up. When you get over here, this is going to be harder to cover up, to try to get something in there, because you can't. They're covering this, so all you got to do is just stick something in there. They're not covering this, so to get something in here to cover it's hard. You know what I mean? I guess they could have put some tape, just put some tape here or whatever. But, something like that, I don't care. What I'm also not happy with is the overspray. That's not overspray there, good. But they got some overspray here. They got some on this. They got some over here. Like, how do you even get paint there? Like, look at this. They didn't even bother to, like, paint this up. I mean, like, to paint it up, to cover it up. Like, it's a giant plastic piece here. Like, how can you not? I don't know. Like, there's a lot of prep work issues. Like, the prep work was absolutely horrible on this car. Like, here they got paint all over the trim, but over here they didn't get trim. I mean, they get paint on the trim. Like, how do you mess it up so bad that over here isn't too bad, and then over here is absolutely horrendous? It's literally the entire trim. Like, they covered the plastic, but they didn't cover the trim. But then over here, they covered the trim. I mean, the rubber piece here. So, like, I just don't understand I don't know. It was just really thrown together masking job on here. And it honestly, because the paintwork isn't that bad. So it honestly ruins the paintwork, because it's not that bad. I don't really see too much orange peel. It's kind of dark out. Not dark, but it's, a winter day. So it's it's a cloudy day. It's not really that nice out, so it's not really sunny. You can't see every little imperfection. But I mean, I want to say they did a good job, because the actual paint job itself isn't too bad. But I'm not going to say they did a good job, because the prep work is absolutely horrendous. Like something like this, like they got some paint there. Like, I don't understand how hard it would have been to just stick something in there. Because they got everything else is covered up. How hard would it have been to get there? Like, it's just like little stuff. Like, they got the windshield almost like perfect. Like, there's a little bit of paint. That's perfectly fine. Like, that's acceptable. But then, like, you go to the back, and there's paint all over the trim. Like, how can you make this look shitty in the back, but then make the front look okay? Like, oh, up front is not that bad. And they even got this. I'm very impressed with this, I have to admit. They did a fantastic job masking this off and getting the paint around it perfectly. So how they got the masking on that perfect, but then something as simple as this all messed up is completely beyond me. I don't understand. I don't know. There's just things that I'm really not happy with. Like over here, they did a pretty good job masking this off. This is actually already here from the previous paint job, so that was already there. I think all this paint was on here except for that. That's from them. But I mean, like something like that. Like, it's one thing to have it up top, but like, why is it all here? It's like, I don't know. Like, they got a little tiny bit of paint there. That's okay. I understand. Maybe he just missed that spot. Like the little things, like, it's not too bad, but they all add up. Like, there's some here. Like, I feel like he could have prepped this up better. This push bumper wasn't on here. They took this off. So he had complete access to get to this grill. You know what I mean? And down here for this is what really gets me. They didn't even cover this up, nothing. They didn't even bother. But the paint, look at this. Like, it's cracking here. It just came out of there. It's like they put one coat on here, if that. I don't think they even really painted this. It's all cracking. I mean, like, they didn't even bother. They just, like, they put, like, one coat on, like, all right, that's it, good. Get it out. You know, you could tell it's a really rushed job. And it took them a whole week. And it's still a rush job. So I don't know if they had too many cars in their lot. When I went there, they had quite a bit of cars, but it didn't seem it was like too much. But I don't know. It's just, you know, I'm just not really too happy with the prep work that I see here. This isn't quite lined up. I had to get some body work done. You probably might be able to see it in video, but it's just a little off. Like, it's not quite straight, you know. But you can't really tell. Before, it had a really big gap right in here. Had a big gap. You know, it's supposed to be a gap like that. So they actually did, you know, there's still a little bit more of a gap than the other side, but they did a pretty good job with that. But I just don't like the gap here. There's a gap there that I don't like. I mean, I guess I got it for the most part. What the hell is this? I'm discovering new things as I look at it. Oh, the paint's peeling off. This is fantastic. That looks good. They got some black overspray here. But, like, look. It looks like they didn't even paint this because the black plugs are here. But then you go to the other side and they painted the black plugs. Like, this car was completely inconsistent when they were painting it. They did some things good and then other things they did absolutely terrible. Like, I don't know. Like, I wanna say they did a good job, but they just did not do a good job. And also, when I picked it up too, oh, they had this half masked off. They had this half masked off. This part was masked off, so it was black, and then the other half was had overspray all over it through the entire thing, front to back. And I told him, like, you know, I'm not paying for this. I'm not paying for a car that, you know, it's not that you're supposed to be painted in that spot. And the other side, you know, it had a little bit over there, but it wasn't too bad. And they told me they're going to do both sides. They never even did the other side. If you look, see how this is black here? You can tell they painted it. They just fucking covered this. They covered this here. You know, obviously the whole car, and then whoosh, they painted the whole thing black, which you can't tell. I thought it was gonna actually be like really shiny and glossy, but it looks like it's supposed to be, so it actually doesn't bother me. But if you look, see, this is black here down here in the body, the pinch weld. But then you go to the other side. Go to the other side here. It's gonna be really hard with the curb, but that's white. You know, and you can see it here. You can see where I'm talking about, the overspray. But the other side was like legit, like down the whole entire thing, like white paint. Like it looked like this. You can see it very, very faintly. There's a little spot of it right here. It was like this, like that paint right there, but it was up higher. It was across the whole entire thing. I'm like, you know, I'm like, that's just unacceptable. I'm sorry, that is just unacceptable. So, I mean, at least it took care of that. They didn't really give me any issues about it. They were like, oh yeah, we understand, we'll take care of it. We'll have it back to you. And I'm like, all right, that's good. But, I mean, where else did I see some spots? Right here on my light, they got that there. I don't know. It's not that big a deal, I guess. I feel like they could have done it a little bit better, but I mean, I don't know. It's honestly, it's a shame because they did do some good work with the actual like paint job itself. They didn't do that bad of a job painting it. It's really the prep work. They did such a terrible job prepping it that it ruins the paint work. Like it makes whoever painted it just look like complete garbage because the paint isn't that bad, you know. But whatever. I mean, I guess it is what it is. I bought some rubbing compound, that's what you see down there. I'm gonna try to just use rubbing compound to get this out. It's not that bad. I'm pretty sure that'll just come right out. It's still the fact that I have to deal with it now. And for this black, I mean, for this white paint here, I don't know, maybe I can just try to get some like black touch-up paint or something, just go over it. Like this, I don't know, I'll just get some black touch-up paint. I could probably just get right in there. That won't really be a big issue. I'm not even gonna bother touching up here. Maybe I'll get a little bit up here, but if I try to get a bunch of paint on here, it's gonna get on the paint. So I don't know. I guess end of the day, if you were to ask me would I recommend Maaco, I'm going to tell you no. I would not recommend going to Maaco. Not really too happy with them. Oh, another thing too. I forgot to show you this. This is where it really gets good too. They painted my exhaust tip. They couldn't even stick like a fucking cup on it or something. They literally got paint on my exhaust tip. They didn't get it on the other side. Once again, not consistent. They didn't get paint on the other side, but they got it there. Over here, it's fine. No paint whatsoever. But then over here, they have paint on my exhaust. Another thing they did too, which still baffles my mind. I don't understand what even happened. They got paint on my frame or whatever, because they obviously don't even bother covering this up. They're just like, oh, fuck that, don't even bother. But they got paint all over the frame here or whatever, but there's black spray paint in here. So I guess they literally didn't do absolutely anything to cover the inside of this whatsoever. I guess they ended up using black spray, or not spray paint, black paint, because they probably got, you know, white overspray in here. Like, how hard would it have been to just get something in here to cover this up? Like, I know it takes a long time to mask a car, but I mean, like, the stuff that they missed, like, it would have added an extra hour onto their time. Like, it would not have been hard to mask this off. Like, I don't care what you tell me. I don't do body work. I don't know anything about it. I can't paint myself, you know. I've done some painting, you know, spray painting bike frames and stuff. They came out all right. You know what I mean? I have painted before. I haven't done professional painting. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't know. For someone that does this for a living, they definitely, I feel like they could have done such a better job. Even though it is Maaco, I mean, you get what you pay for, but, you know, $1,400 and, like, they couldn't even cover that up or cover this up. Like, come on. Like, that's just simple shit. They got the control arms, which are actually new. I'll show you that in the other video I make. But they got paint all over the control arms. So the brand new control arms I got are just covered in paint. I don't know. You know, I would not recommend Maaco. I would not go there. The guy that I talked to, he was, I don't know, I got a weird vibe from him. He was all right, but he kind of seemed like a dick. I don't know. I mean, I'm just not happy with it. Like, they got paint, like, look at this. They got paint on my license plate cover. Like, how, I don't understand. How do you not cover this? They couldn't take the license plate off and take the cover off? Like, I guess they didn't even bother taking the cover off. I don't even know what's behind there. I can't tell because the push bumper's on there. But, like, they didn't even bother taking this off. Like, how hard would it have been to unscrew the license plate cover? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not difficult. That would have taken 5 minutes tops. Like, they just honestly just did a shit job. It was just thrown together. Let's get this kid's money and call it a day. That's honestly what it was. And they were going to try to sell me paint with it all painted down here. A job with it all down there. I mean, I saw that. Oh, well, you look at that. Oh, it keeps adding up. Here's some run marks right here that I didn't see. Oh, this is getting better and better. Oh my god. The more I see this paint, the more I just get fucking aggravated. I mean, it looks good from a distance, like if you step back and look at it. I mean, it looks pretty good. It's got a nice shine to it. I mean, the paint does look pretty good. But, I don't know. The more I see it, the more I'm just not happy with it at all. And I would not recommend anyone going to Maaco. Even though it's cheap, you know what I mean? It's, I don't know. Like over here, they got some overspray there too. Yeah, some run marks. I'm not happy with it. I mean, it looks good from a distance. It's not awful. I mean, I guess it's not terrible. It does look nice. But when you get up close and really look at it, there's just so many things wrong with it. And it's, I don't know. I don't think I'd go there again. I would never go there again, as a matter of fact. I wouldn't recommend someone to go there. They're just, I don't know. I'm honestly speechless. I don't even know what to even say. I'm just not really that happy with it. So, I guess that's it. I'll be wrapping it up here. I'm going to try to buff out the back there. But, I mean, that's my car now. I'll take another video of it once I get the rims and tires on. It will probably look really nice once I get that on. Have nice black rims and new tires on there. I got the 17-inch rims, so they're bigger rims. But I guess that's it. I'll wrap it up here. And any questions or comments or anything like that, just let me know. I'll answer whatever. So, later, guys.